Hello and welcome to Season 4, Episode 6 of the Raider Power Podcast. I'm Evan. With me today, as always, Chris and Ryan. And today, we got the winningest player in Texas Tech men's basketball history, one of the all-time greats, Norense Odiase. Norense, how you doing today, man?
I'm good. I'm blessed, man. Thank you guys for having me on the show. And I don't know, I'm just been excited for this past week, excited for this coming week. And I'm good. I'm good.
Good, man. Well, I saw you at the big game last week, arguably the biggest home game that Lubbock has ever seen in the United Supermarkets Arena when Texas came to town. And I'm grateful that you agreed to do this with us. And first of all, what were your impressions of that game?
You know, it's funny because like I have a podcast, and the way you get better at explaining things is by practice. Like you articulate your thoughts and then you go like. But I don't even think like pondering this thing. I can't even articulate like how that was. I can't put it into words because it's one of those things like you really had to be there. That place was electric. Like I didn't for the game for the stuff around the game. It was awesome. The fans, like they tailgated for a basketball game. Like it was insane when I got there. Oh my God! Like this is a real thing. There was a whole line just for people like they knew they weren't going to get in the game. It is what I like. What to my estimation, they had this line where there was a line to get in for the students, and then there's a just in case line that was long. Like, I'm like, oh my goodness, like it was insane. So it was crazy to see that before the game, and then the game it just felt like it was like a big time matchup, like a Final Four going back and forth, but we were controlling the whole game, but it felt like anything. And we was like, I found myself pissed off, but I'm like, wait, we were up like the whole game. I didn't sit down not one time. So it was, again, this is a lot of thoughts. I'm ADD all at once. Like I said, it's hard to just give you a good sentence of how that was, but man, it was insane.
Man, I knew it was going to be absolutely crazy. And then I showed up to the arena about 4 hours before and saw you shotgunning a beer on top of a bus. And then I knew it was really going to be a while.
First time ever. People like some of my boys was like, that was the slowest shotgun ever. I said, I don't know. So yeah, it was crazy.
I saw these like longtime NCAA basketball analysts. They're all saying this was the craziest atmosphere I've ever been a part of in a college basketball game. It was unlike anything I've ever seen. Even watching from all the way up here in Boston, I was just like, I would give anything to have thought to fly down there. Yeah, I'm up in Boston. So
we're all over, man. I'm in Denver. He's in Boston. Chris is in LA. We're just all over.
What? So none of you guys were there.
No, Evan
went. I was there.
Evan took the flight.
You guys missed.
I know.
Me and Evan were in there going crazy.
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. That was a smart move by Texas Tech Athletics getting you to talk to the students beforehand, because we were all talking last week how worried we were that we were going to do something stupid to cost us some points or worse.
Nah, yeah. Honestly, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried, because I thought of it beforehand. I'm like, wow, I see Twitter. I feel it like leading up. Everybody felt like a certain way that I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So if you already feel some animosity and you kind of feel some type of way, there's some extreme fans who are like, oh yeah, like, so I'm just like, dang, I was feeling it. And then I get a call, Kirby Hoke called me, and then I talked to Dusty Womble, and they're like, could you do this? Like the fans, they love you. They like it will mean a lot coming from you. They will listen. Like, and for me, I'm just like, who is little old Norris? Like, I'm honored that you asked me. Like, I feel like people, invite answers, they don't invite problems. So for them to see me as an answer, and for me to have like influence, and for them to, I guess, listen, it's just an honor, and it's just a testament to, just the light that, God has placed on my life. But I was just happy to be able to do that. And for people listen. So it worked.
Yeah.
All the press was totally positive about the atmosphere. And we were talking about before that. I mean, I was extremely worried, and I was like just saying, hope, everyone hates this guy walking in. Like, it's like, it feels almost like gladiator-ish. I was like, I really hope nothing happens. But all the press has been positive. People have been saying this was the best atmosphere ever in a college basketball game, at a regular season conference game. I mean, it's nuts. And I'm so bummed that I missed it. I mean,
I will remember that game for forever. I was talking to somebody, and this isn't me, so don't say it's blasphemy. So it was it was actually like, not, I don't want to say she's older, but she was somebody who works for tech. Like, she has, she's up there, and she says, this might go down as bigger and a better atmosphere, like a moment, more than the Crabtree catch. I was like, wow, that's a lot. That's saying a lot.
What an amazing comparison.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
Man, we got the dub, and you're right. It was the most. I'm from Lubbock. Chris is from Lubbock. We've gone to tech games our whole life, and the energy and the atmosphere, it exceeded every expectation I had, man.
Really?
Absolutely.
That's cool.
So Norense, you come to Tech as a freshman. You finish up your career at Tech being, that's no exaggeration, the winningest player in program history. You helped lead the team to a national championship game appearance, which we were all three at.
Oh yeah,
cheering you on in Minneapolis.
We're missing that one.
I want to talk about your career, but we got to start there. Talk to us about the Final Four. Talk to us about the national championship. I mean, I know that's a broad question, but man, what comes to mind when you think back?
What a time. I mean, what a time to be alive. No Drake, but what a time. Like, literally, it's tough to look back, and when people ask, you're so locked in the moment, especially me. Sometimes I beat myself up, like, bro, just relax. Just live it up a little bit, because I was so locked in on what we're doing. Like, how is the team prepared? Are the guys prepared? Are we sleeping? Are we locked in? Are we, paying attention to the noise? I was so even personally, I had broken up with a girlfriend. I was so
oh my gosh.
So I couldn't really enjoy it. Now, outside looking in, I'm looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh. There were so many fans at the Final Four that weekend. A sea of red. Jared Harper, he played for Auburn, who's playing now. He's one of my good friends. And he was like, nah, I ain't gonna lie. You guys travel, and it was annoying. There were so many fans. They were loud, they were crazy. And I'm just like, the first thing when I meet people like that from the different teams, they're like, bro, your fans are crazy. You guys had them there. And so just looking back, that time was special. It's a thing of, a testament to the team that we had. We talk all the time. We're so close knit, and we, just cherish that for forever, because I've never been around a group of guys like that where you feel like it's just meant to be that way. We were more connected than any other team that I've ever been on. So no, that run, insane. Is definitely a destined special type run.
I mean, you come off the season prior going to the Elite Eight and the deepest run that the program has ever seen. When you go into that season, obviously the goal is Final Four. But I mean, when you're in that moment, I mean, you guys had to have just been floored that you were there. I mean, I know you guys were obviously good enough, but at the same time, it's like the Final Four. What an experience.
That's the thing, though, Evan. Literally, we come off Elite Eight run, and we lose Zach Smith, Keenan Evans, Justin Gray, Naeem, we lose like basically an influx of talent. Like all our guys are, our core group from when I came in, we lose them. And then the next season, everybody's like, well, let's make the tournament. We have no idea what's going to go on. For us, we're just like, yeah, we're going to, like you said, expect Final Four. But I don't think, if I'm being honest, other people thought we'd get there. There's a pivotal moment when we went to the Madison Square Garden game.
Yeah.
And this is the Duke game where people thought that the Cavs were better, like the Duke with Zion and RJ Barrett. They were like, okay, this Duke team can beat the Cavs. Like they're a real NBA team. And so when we played them, like it was a close game, and everybody's like, yeah, like that's when it turned the tide for the fans. But for us, I was pissed. Like it was a whole thing about that. But for us, we knew like, whoa, like we're way better than even what we showed on that night. So we kind of knew. So to answer your question about the Final Four run, it was just like, that's what we should have done because of everything that we went through together as a team, how close we were, how we built the whole season. Like it was just really a byproduct of how we were, the closeness, the togetherness, the faith, like the family, just the core group of guys that we were paired with, how we gelled on the court. It was literally a byproduct of all of that. So.
And from all your time at Tech, do you think that culture of everyone being together and playing for one, because that's what we talk about all the time, is that our teams really love each other. There's so much love on the court, and it's a brotherhood that everyone plays for one another. No one's selfish. Is that culture built from within, or is it just the program from the coaches down to the players, or is it more of the players coming together?
That is a great question because that's a great question. I think it has a bit of all of it. Like definitely the players, our core group of guys when we came in, that definitely. The coaches definitely, like I think Chris Beard, he would say it. He's smart and he was blessed to inherit this situation and take it to the next level when he got to Texas Tech. Tubby helped build that foundation. But again, I think it's the fans in the city too. It's just like everything together just works. I don't know what it is. You have you had fans tailgating for a basketball game in February. Like all of that has to do with why it is the way it is. I think you put us in New York. I don't think we're that close to somebody, hey, let's go to this place. Let's go to this place. In Lubbock, there's so much to do now, but like it's just like I don't know, it's like everything. It was together. It's the city. So the city compared with the team and the coach, if a coach matched the real like underlying like core value behind that team, I mean, it's just a perfect mix. So when people say, oh, you can't win in Lubbock, wait, I'm like, have you guys ever been to Lubbock? Like, it doesn't make sense. If you really want to win, you literally have every ingredient to win in Lubbock. Fans, team, coaches, like, so I don't know. That's my.
Me and Chris went to the Providence game this year, and you want to talk about traveling? Tiny little town in the Northeast. It was like half Tech fans. All the people sitting around us from Providence were just like, "What's going on here? Did you guys get a plane and all fly here together? I don't get this." The crowd was nuts. And we're talking about a November or like a December game.
Yeah,
there shouldn't be anybody there. It is full.
And then I went to the Tennessee game right after that at MSG. And I had the exact same question from a Tennessee fan right next to me. We're all over the place.
This is something I want to ask you guys, because when you think about it, you said you're in Boston, you're in LA, well, Cali. I always say LA to Cali. And literally, what do you think it is? You're around a lot of schools or even small schools. Why don't they travel like that? Why is it just us? Like, what do you guys think it is? I don't like. Just thinking about it, because even at one of our the other day, I took like 3 pics with a bunch of Tech fans. I'm just like, how are they here too? So it's like,
I think Evan and I can answer that really well. I mean, we're both from Lubbock. I was born there, went to Coronado, and with Jared and his brother. But I think it's just like that Friday Night Lights mentality of, growing up, what are we doing tonight? Oh, everyone's going to the game. Okay. And then you love it so much. And there's so much passion there. And I just think like if you grow up in it, and then Ryan, I went to school at Northeastern with Ryan in Boston, and we they cut our football program. We have a basketball program. We got into March Madness too, but our I start watching the games and everything, and then Ryan comes in. He's like, who's this? And then just like got into the culture this way and was like, dang.
Oh, absolutely. It was the culture. It wasn't at that time, the football team. Yeah, like Mahomes was on the team and Kingsbury, but they were scoring a bunch of points and still losing. It was just the culture, the fans. I went to a couple games with Chris and I was like, I'm never looking back. This is my team for life.
Yeah, like that. It's a community that's just like, like people say, win, lose, we still booze. But like, yeah, it's a party. But it's the underlying, when you unpack that, it's like together, that close knit, that I don't know, it's that's what separates it. Like
yeah, I mean, a lot of credit to Lubbock for sure. It's that West Texas tough mentality. They get behind the team and they go 100%. But a lot of credit to the players and coaches too, because Chris and I grew up when we were little, going when Bob Knight was at the helm, and and we went through the Pat Knight days and the Billy Gillespie days, and Scott Walker for a little bit. And I think that Tubby Smith does not get enough credit, because I think that our turnaround started
100%, Evan.
He definitely does it. And literally, like when you had a group of guys, I feel like I always saw him as kind of a father figure. He's a different type of coaching style. So he really built that in us early on, like family. We used to go to his house. I think some of the times it's the NCAA violation. I don't think you're supposed to go eat it, but whatever. We go at his house, like Donna would make us cookies, like his son was on the staff. So it just felt like home away from home at times. And it kind of got us, gradually together. And a lot of coaches these days, they don't think about stuff like that. So that kind of just made it easy to play with these guys on the court. And then, coaches leave, things happen. But whenever you still have that group that you built on the love and the trust that you have together, it's like, faces change, but culture is what we built, and culture is what we stood on there. So, yeah, you're definitely right.
Yeah, Tubby's a heck of a coach. Not a great motorcycle rider, as we saw at home. I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
Never forget that. For the listeners who don't know, Coach Smith taking a motorcycle out at the center court there had a little spill in the USA.
Oh my goodness.
But Norense, we talked about the Final Four, man, and I know this is another broad question, but what are some of your other most memorable moments? Obviously, winning the 12 title. I probably for 2 years, the background on my phone was a picture of you hoisting that Big 12 trophy. So thanks for that, by the way.
That's cool.
But talk to us about some of your favorite moments at Tex. Maybe it's a favorite game. Maybe it's a favorite matchup.
Favorite moments. Honestly, I wish like Keenan would be like, this guy has a worse memory. I don't have the best memory, and all my friends tell me. But I would say I remember Final Four year. I remember let me like kind of, how people I'm a politician for this answer, right? You kind of ask me something, I schmooze it and give you a different answer. Here it goes. Basically, just the journey, like seeing us freshman year, there was fans, but like we were losing. I remember getting pissed against like a TCU when, who's this freshman getting pissed? Like we're supposed to lose. We've been losing all season, but I had like a burning desire to win. Like seeing that, to then gradually I get hurt, and I ups and downs. I see different teams. I'm learning through leadership through like different lenses. Like I'm seeing so many things, and I'm learning, and then build into, okay, we have a team, we have a new coach. We stayed, like we're becoming closer and closer and closer to us getting to the Elite Eight and to us getting to the Final Four. It's just like, I guess the whole journey, just seeing it and being where, like you said, the winningest player, just seeing like before and after, it's like you're looking at two pictures and it's just like people like even that come in now really don't know what that was before. So it's like me having the whole picture and I'm looking at it like, wow. And now seeing like a crazy sold out game to this day, like atmosphere that we had at the Texas game, it's just, I feel like it's an ongoing favorite moment because I've seen like this city turn, this team turn, like, and the culture kind of shift behind Texas basketball, Texas Tech basketball. So
it honestly is pretty incredible if you think about the years you were there. It is that full picture. It is the whole entire change to now everybody knows Texas Tech basketball across the country.
yeah,
It is a perennial. The past 3 years, 4 years, everybody knows they're in contention. And exactly that, 6 years ago, people weren't talking about Tech. Now it's back in the top 10, ranked preseason every year. And you guys really did just put the team on the map.
yeah, it's like it's for me, it wasn't quick at all, but now it's like, damn, like we're really. Sometimes I talk to King, I'm just like, these young players, they don't know what they got, man. They really don't. Like I went to the Wombo and I said, oh my God. I remember we used to be at the second gym where like volleyball used to use the gym. The girls basketball team used to use the gym, and we did. And it was our time. So we'd have odd times. Like sometimes we'd practice early in the morning. The girls had like volleyball and then basketball. And I guess the women's volleyball team had run over our time. And Tubby was pissed. Like he kicked the volleyball, things like that. So I'm remembering like we used to have to wait till get our time. Now I walk in here, like I'm like, you put your fingerprint, I'm like, oh my God, this is Hollywood. Like, they don't know. So sometimes I just look at this place and I'm just like, wow, look at, what we kind of built here. So.
Man. So Norense, talk to us, I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about Tech, but talk to us about your career afterwards, kind of what you've been up to, right after college and what you're up to now. So our listeners know.
Sure, for sure. Basically, so right after I left Tech, the draft process happens. I signed with the Suns, and then I get cut, and then I signed with the G League with the Suns. And so I was with Tariq that year. It was a good year, and then COVID happened, and literally from when did COVID happen? March till August. Guys didn't have teams. So how it happens, the league canceled or whatever, and nobody knew like their next move. I had an opportunity to go to Germany. I made good money, like on a great club. So I was like, whatever, let's, I've never been over there. Let me try it. So I went over there the last year, and I came back here, and I was working out every day. And for me, I'm always like a forward thinker. Obviously, I still play basketball to this day, but like, I want to do more. So like, basically, I have a corporate job. I work at Amazon as well. And now I also, I play current day for G League team, Greensboro Swarm. So no, I've been doing a lot. I also have a podcast, Mind Believe podcast. But I feel like at this age, especially for me, and you have like so many racing thoughts and like burning desires to help people, I feel like it's our job and our duty to explore every avenue that you have to actually do so. So I don't have kids. I don't have a wife. All the things that I do is like my kids and my wife right now.
So you have a job and you're playing for the Swarm at the same time. So what's an average day for you? I mean, it's got to be insane hours.
Okay, so I usually go to bed at 10 Eastern time, so it's 9. I go to bed, I wake up early at like, let's say 5:36, and I pray and I read and I watch a sermon. It kind of gets my mind right. And then I kind of, I go on this CRM that we have for work, and I do all this stuff before I go to practice. I block off my calendar, go to practice, come back, take calls. Like my first day in Greensboro was crazy. Like, I remember it was like a time conflict. So I had to run off. I was sweaty. I was panting. I was on a call, and I like big time guy. Basically, he sold over like 380 million on Amazon in 1 year. So I'm, it was crazy, but he was so cool, so chill. And I feel like when you're at this position, when you're him, you're like, well, so he was so cool, whatever. But like, that kind of is my day. It's like this, then post for the podcast, and then like, so it's like, that's one of my things. My challenges right now is I never have time for like a breath. So but that's kind of my days. I come back home, I work until, I can't kind of, work on podcast stuff and then go to bed. So
what was can you say the podcast one more time so everyone can hear it?
Mind Bully Podcast. And basically why it's Mind Bully is because when I was in Germany, I went through a tough time internally. I had a tough situation with a coach to where I've never felt that way. I've always like so full of life, so energetic. I'm ADD. I'm like a energetic type of, that type of guy. I'm an extroverted guy, always positive. But over there, I was just hearing things from a coach, and just COVID made it tough to where I was literally by myself. They had a curfew in the city to where you couldn't even leave your house past 9 p.m. So I'm just hearing negative. And then, as you know, if you hang around negative things, you're going to believe them. So I started believing some of the stuff, and I was just really in a tough mental space. And I just was journaling every day and just kind of building myself up there. And I learned a lot about myself and my mind. So I'm like, I overcame this negative voice in my head. Obviously, everybody's ongoing, but in this journey, there's so many people that's like you along your journey in life. How is a way to serve and give back to them? And it actually helps you out too as well. Mind Bully Podcast. So all of that led me to Mind Bully Podcast. And it's really basically highlighting the journey. I feel like in life, we're in the journey of a climb, trying to reach our next heights. I feel like you don't have to have credentials or be somebody with this certain position that give back to somebody else. So that's what Mind Bully Podcast is about. So
yeah, man,
awesome.
It's great stuff. Listeners, if you haven't checked it out, make sure to do so.
Thank you.
Norense, last April felt like the rug just got ripped out from under us as Tech fans. A lot of uncertainty with Beard leaving.
Yeah.
There's a lot of discussion who's going to be the guy. If I remember correctly, you were pretty vocal about Adams taking the job. What can obviously his work is speaking for himself right now. But what can you tell us about Adams being around him, and why are you so pro Adams? And what can Tech expect in the long run from him?
I mean, I'll give you an inside scoop. Basically, I was in Germany, like I said, and April Fools. I remember it was April Fools, and there's so much stuff around Chris Beard, and we're close. We're still close to this day. I talked to him yesterday. Fans at Tech's probably gonna hate me, but I mean, I can't lie on my relationships in this life, whatever. But yeah, so April Fools comes, and Andrew Soros, he was on the team. He's like one of my best friends. So I'm up late, like I'm like, do you think we're just, just like everybody at the time, like going over it? Nah, there's no way. And so, like I said, our Final Four group, we're so close. We literally got on FaceTime. I think it was the day of. We got on group FaceTime, because, we've already went through me, coaching Chains and Tubby. It kind of happens on Twitter first. You hear some buzz, and then we're like, whatever. So let's talk about this. So basically, Kyler Edwards, he was like, yep, it's true. I'm like, nah, there's no way. So he was like, no, we have a meeting at this time. I'm like, okay, it's true. So we're on FaceTime. He comes down, and we're just hearing the rumblings. Like, we're hearing everything that's happening. We say, what's up to John Riley, the strength coach. We're seeing everybody. He comes down, basically, he's like, I'm going to Texas. If you guys ever need anything, I'm there. Don't call, but I'm leaving. And he walks out.
Oh my God.
And so right after that moment, we're all on the phone. I'm like, literally, we need to pub Adams, like, go on Twitter. We need to, because we really trust this guy. And this is the man that can, he's already knows what we do, the culture, he's the one is why the defense and everything changed. We know the talent behind the scenes, the thankless people. We're like, this is the guy. So it was a no-brainer for me to pub him and get other guys to pub him. And to answer your question, I was with him since my freshman year. My freshman year with Tubby, I came in, I don't think he even had a title as a coach. And I just knew how he was with just people and families and the game, the eye that he had for the game, the development he had for me coming in as a freshman. He just would always coach me on the side. Like, I'm just like, and seeing him when he left and he came back, he grew as a coach, brought together a killer defense, and he had so much things offensively that he wasn't able to I guess, voice or do so in that way. I just saw the traits that he had inside of him, and he had fire. Like, he's a tough ass coach. Whenever a Beard would leave, we would hate it because it's just like, oh my God, we're gonna be guarding the fans for 2 hours. Like, but we knew that he had all the traits that, you know, it took for a head coach. So it was a no-brainer for me, and I'm happy that people get to see his coaching ability. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think a testament to that too is that once he was named head coach, no one transferred. Everyone stayed. And that does not happen often.
Nope. Like literally, like, especially when you have your head coach, everybody, a whole influx. There's only really one guy. Like, it's really crazy. It's a testament to who he is and a testament to the fans. I feel like the fans did a lot. If we had a shit fan base, let's call it a buck, like, they're out. Like, so Lubbock played a huge part in retaining that team and keeping our culture strong. So.
Well, you may have some obviously firsthand insight here because, you know, when Beard left, he turned from deity to villain in a moment, right? So, you know, what is your opinion on, you know, I know it's business, you know, college coaches move around, but from a fan base looking in, the reason it hurt so bad was a guy who loved Texas Tech so much, and he said he loved it more than anything, and it was his home, you know, to leave to the rival. I mean, there's going to be some sting there, you know.
Of course. And like that was my message. So, you know, when they asked me to talk to the fans, I'm just like, look, guys, because at first I was supposed to do a video. I think Tariq did a video. I was like, I'm not doing that shit. Like, yeah, it's not for me to be genuine. I gotta be like, I'm not doing that. Fan the Flames. Yeah, don't throw anything, but they should be angry. Like, you literally should be angry. What the heck? This is sports. Like, we take it so personal anyways. That's why Tech fans are the best. But it's like, when something happens like that, it should feel like, oh my God, like, we were so into this team, like, bought in, and it just feels like it's over. So it's kind of tough for me to be honest, because again, I love Coach Adams and I love Chris Beard. I'm man enough to stand on my relationships with both. It feels like your parents just had a divorce and you're like, and you're in the middle. I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? And everybody's like telling you how bad your mom, like, you know, I'm just like, okay. So no, it's tough. People should be angry. People like should support their team. But I feel like for me, I told them, just like I would tell you guys, I'm like, I'm pissed off that, like, that's crazy. But I mean, he had his decision, but I guess it was kind of like a competitive nature in me that grew because I knew Coach Adams. I'm like, all right, go ahead. I was pissed, but go ahead. But I'm like, you guys, I guess the fans don't know what this guy got. So it's just like, all right, we'll see. Competitive nature came out from there. And it's just, I'm glad like fans are able to see like, wow, like we have something for real. So it's different styles and Tech won. So
yeah. Tech did win.
Amen.
And look into the future, because I know you got a long day tomorrow and it's almost your bedtime. But looking at our current team, what do you like about them, and what do you see happening the rest of the year?
Man, their journey this year. Again, another inside scoop. Their journey this year has been like insane. Like they play as a team. They fight so hard together. And I say it inside scoop because earlier in the season, I literally haven't told anybody this. Earlier in the season, I went to a football game at Texas Tech. I think it was Garibay, the kick. I was there that
Iowa State. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there that weekend, and I went to a Texas Tech practice. And like there were some things I was watching on TV that I didn't like because as a former player, the culture you kind of watch different. Like, are guys in the huddle? Are guys like huddling up, talking to each other? Are guys leading? Are guys in halftime? Are they running straight back? Or are they messing with fans? Are they looking in the stands? Are guys that's all the stuff I look at. And so I didn't like some things. And long story short, I went to their practice and I made it known that I didn't like some things. We got in this, like Coach Mark Adams, he calls me in the huddle after the practice. We get in the huddle and I lose it. Like, it's funny. This is the first time I'm telling this story. Adams builds me up like he's like, this guy was our Moses. He led us to the promised land, blah, blah, blah. Like he's a like basically build me up. I'm a spiritual guy. I am a spiritual guy, but like, basically it's like a pastor introducing me. And then I go crazy. I'm cussing like, this is not what we do here. I'm like, look at this. Like, look at this place y'all in. Like, it's hot. Like, it's beautiful. And don't mess up. Like, I'm going crazy. Like, because of the stuff that I didn't like. I didn't like how it was. Some of the things, like, just, I was nitpicking basically. And man, from that moment to now, like, these guys, they've grown so much. They play so hard. They like they've grown so much already in the season. It's a special thing to watch. And just X and O's wise, they're so long on defense. Like we weren't even that long defensively with their guards. They play together. Their offense, they go fast. They're fun to watch. And my thing is, as long as they can keep locking in and staying focused, and those coaches, and they'll have them on that. The sky's the limit for sure for them. It's my favorite team since our team, for sure. But like hands down, my favorite team since our team. They just compete. They got a full team. So
that's exactly what we were saying as well.
Obviously, the follow-up question is this team versus your team. You line them up. What's the final score?
Exactly. Like, and I saw that on Twitter, and I was just like, I sent it to Andrew, and I just sent it to him. He said, it's way too soon for that. It's way too soon. And for me, like, not even selfishly, but I think it's way too soon. Like, I think for them, I don't even want them to see that, because it's like, obviously they're not kids, they're grown men, but it's hard to lock in when you have so many things. That's why I couldn't enjoy our run, because it's like, I really had to lock in. I took the cell phones. I really wanted our team to lock in. So when I see that stuff on Twitter, I'm just like, man, I get it. But then it's like, you don't want to mess anything up with what they got. Like, but to answer that, I still got our team. I think out of all the teams I was at Tech, the most talented one was probably Elite Eight team, most talented. But I think our team, that team, it's just special. We went through a lot together. Like, I had a tragedy in my family. We lost a couple games, then we turned it around. We went on and win. Like, it's tough. It's tough, man. So, but I'm taking 2019 squad.
And we know if it gets close, it comes down to those two teams playing. Brandome's hitting the corner three.
Yeah.
2019 squad's going up. Reddy's hitting the free throws. The boys are locking down on defense. It's gonna be over.
Different vibe, man. Different vibe.
That is something that Evan and I were talking about at the beginning of the season. We were talking about, okay, we've got really good guard play. What are we missing? And we both said we're missing Norense's leadership. We are looking for that. That's what we were saying at the beginning. So it's crazy to hear, like, you got in there and laid it down.
Like literally, Coach Adams, I'm flattered. He texts me all the time and says the same thing. But I think, again, leadership can't be outsourced. It has to be. You can't just bring in, it has to be built, and you have to build it up through the season and build it up in yourself, serving your other players. And I feel like it doesn't always have to look the way I brought it. Like, they, different people have different styles, but they definitely have leadership on the team from what they, from the product, who holds them to that standard, leadership and just that togetherness as a unit. So I think they do it together, and they're doing a great job of doing so.
Norense, I think no one would disagree that you were the rock and the glue of that 2019 squad. I hope this isn't a controversial question, because I got my answer. I want to know what yours is. Who's the leader of this squad? I mean, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of guys that lead. There's plenty of guys that have those qualities.
I talked to Bryson about it individually. I feel like it means a lot, and I know how much it means to him to want to step into that role. And who I've seen him, I've never wavered on my opinion about him. Like, he's just a focused guy. He's super focused, and he's super locked into what he wants, and he wants to win. He came here for a win. It's like a mission, man. You go there, I want to accomplish this, and this, and he works so hard. I think it's him. It's just the vocal part is different, like I said. But I think it's him, again, with Kevin and those type of guys helping along the way. But Bryson is definitely a leader of this team. Why? Who do you think?
Man, mine was Kev. I think. Yeah. I forget which game it was, but one of the ESPN announcers says, "That's your trenches guy. I would go to war with him any day of the week." And that's exactly how I feel about Kevin. I think.
Yeah, he's another one exactly that's been through battles. I mean, he stayed there. He was with us. He kind of got an inside look on how a team is put together and what they need to win. And he's been through it all. So he's definitely. I just think Bryson is. I guess it's a different trait. It's a different trait. That's a tough question though. That's a tough question for sure. So.
All right.
Gents, you guys got anything else?
No, this has been
got a
awesome.
lot.
I really appreciate all.
I could keep it
got a
rolling
lot,
for
but
forever, but I don't.
Norrense, if you could just plug your podcast one more time, and then Evan, I guess we could sign off. But I think
sure. Mind Bully Podcast. Mind Bully Podcast on all platforms. Mind Bully Podcast on IG. Mind Bully Pod on Twitter. And just every Monday I have a new episode about life. So join me at Mind Bully Podcast.
Norense, my guy, we really, really enjoyed this. Thank you for doing this with us. I hope that we'll have the good fortune of having you on here again one of these days. But for now, I'm Evan.
I'm Chris.
I'm Ryan.
And this has been the Raider Power Podcast. Guns up.
Guns up. I appreciate you guys.